you can score good marks in this subject. So your target should be full on full. When you are completing all the points, so you will be able to get at least 24. It is a management. You may not be able to get out of out marks sometimes, but it's a very good subject to score the marks and to increase your percentage of a final internal marks. You can get it full on full. Okay, but you need to cover all the points. You should cover all the points. Characteristics means you should be able to write all the 12 characteristics. If it is a categories means you should be able to give all the flow diagram and what are those with the examples. Such kind of questions will be there. For a phases, life cycle phases, that sketch giving the flow diagram, giving the phases, different phases. So implementation is 85%, your conception and planning and organizing will be of a 3% of our work. Such kind of diagrams, wherever it is diagrams are there, you will come across. You need to pick those diagrams and put the diagrams first. Since it is a theoretical, it takes a lot of time to write. So put correctly the flow diagrams and the charts and all, so that you will be able to get the marks, to increase your marks or to score your marks. Okay, this is a good subject. Don't neglect and get a good score, good marks in this subject. Okay. So we'll start. 22 have joined. So now we are into the third unit. Only today I'll do that too. The organization part I will do, so that not to mix up your internal portion along with what I'm doing in a class. Tomorrow I'll take up only the revision of how to write and what is the portion. So we were in the third unit, we were going through the project organizations. Yes or no? Project management as a staff assisting to the chief executive, we have done it. All the 6 organizations we have studied. So today we are going to discuss about each and every organization with respect to authority. Authority means what? Authority means what? Can anyone put in a chat box? Authority of a project manager means what? What is the authority of a project manager on his project? Means what? What do you mean by that? What is authority and what is accountability?
Ma'am, flow process.
Power given.
Authority means it is a power given to the project manager to take the decisions in his projects. So what amount of authority he has over his project? So in a different organizations, different authority is given to the project manager. What is accountability? What is accountability? You can put in a chat box or you can unmute and answer. We have discussed in the beginning of the third unit, delegation, what to delegate, when to delegate, how much to delegate, what is authority, what is accountability. Accountability means what? Yes? Can anyone? Chetan Chingudi. Accountability means it is statics. No. The term might be a mathematical term. It is not a statistics. It is the responsibility given to the project manager. Yes, being responsible. Who has given? Virat Alur. Yes, you are right, Virat. It is the responsibility. What responsibility has been assigned to the project manager And what is the power given to him? What is the authority given to him? Yes, if you are only assigning the responsibility and you are not giving any power, what happens? The work may not go smoothly. So some amount of, when you are responsible, a power also need to be delegated to the project manager to take the better decisions, in time decisions, so that the project will run smoothly. That is what we are going to see. So what is authority? When a project manager, staff assisting to the chief executive, what authority he has got and what accountability, what responsibility he has got. In each case, authority and responsibilities are different. In a project management assisting staff specialized function, what is the authority given to the project manager? What is the accountability of a project manager? Then similarly in all these organizations. So that is what we are going to learn today. I've taken directly the photo from the textbook itself. I'll show you full screen so that you will be able to read out. You are able to read from the slide? Yes? I will not be able to see the chat box now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I will make it full screen. Okay. So, authority and accountability with various organizations. So, when we were doing in the very first case, no power was not given to in the first organization, that is project manager as a staff assisting, because he has been placed in a which place? Tell me, vertical or a horizontal? In the very first organization, he was placed in a horizontal, this thing. Horizontal means they are not the decision makers. Those who are there on a vertical line of a management organization structure, they will be able to take the decisions. So he was a staff assisting to the chief executive. He didn't have any power to take the decisions. So that is what authority with respect to the project manager and authority with respect to the functional manager. Functional managers means various departments which are functioning in the industry, like a production department, like a marketing department, like a maintenance department. All these are actively taking part in day-to-day production work. So this is authority of a project manager and authority of a functional manager in the very first organization of a project, that is project manager as a staff assisting to the chief executive. The next column will give you accountability. Accountability in the sense responsibility of a project manager as well as the responsibility of a functional manager, what they have to do when they have been placed in a functional as well as a project. What authority they have over the project, what responsibility, accountability they have over the project. So for the first one, authority does not make any decisions for project does not make any decisions in project controlling and even in a communication informations. He don't have any authority, power to take the decisions or to take the control of the project, or he don't have any authority to take do any communications to the next set of organization people. Whereas in this very first case, functional manager has got that authority, decides what has to be done, how it has to be done, then when, at what time, what cost in their functional area. So here in the very first organization, functional manager is given an authority to take the decisions with respect to the cost with respect to the delegation, with respect to the flow of information. Whereas project manager is just assisting the functional manager for doing the scheduling of a project, for connect with the contractors and all. He will be just assisting the functional manager. For authority is a consultant. But when accountability is concerned, project manager cannot be held accountable because he is not doing any decisions for any performance parameters of the project, accountability for the timely reporting. Just he will be reporting. So functional manager can be held accountable for individual functional performance, cannot be held accountable for overall project time and cost. So the time and cost, project manager will be doing it. How the progress of the project is going on, for that he is accountable. So this is with respect to the very first organization what we have studied. I will show you the flow diagram. You might have, I'll go back to the flow diagram of the very first. Yeah. So this is the project manager as a staff assisting to the chief executive. The project manager has been placed horizontally. He cannot take any decisions. So the chief executive, functional manager will be, or the different heads of the personal, technical and finance will be taking the decisions with respect to the project. So the second organization, again I'll go back to the second organization is consultant as a project manager. So that does not make any decisions, betters the system, procedures and guidelines for project implementation, training staff, monitors the implementation as well as make the recommendations. As a consultant, when a project manager as a consultant is working, he will be performing, he has got only this much authority. Whereas the functional, in this consultancy also, the functional manager is able to take the decisions with respect to the projects. What is the accountability of a project manager? Again, he will be helping the chief executive in scheduling as well as budgeting, cost estimation, but just he will analyze and he will submit the report. He cannot decide what thing need to be done. Again, the decision lies with the functional manager. Here also, when the project manager is a consultant for the project. In the third case, project manager as a staff function. As a staff function, when it has been put as a staff, decides. Now the decision power is given to the project manager. So the authority is given to the project manager. Decides on overall schedules to be followed and budgets to be provided, but cannot direct the staff for adherence of the same. Again, he can decide, but the flow of information will go through the functional manager itself in this case also. Decides what has to be done, how it has to be done, when, how much, what to be done, all that will be decided. All the power again lies with respect to the functional manager itself. What is accountability of this kind of organization? Cannot be held accountable because he is not taking any of the decisions. When you are taking, decision power is given to you, so you are accountable for your decisions, what you are taking for progress of that project. Cannot be held accountable for time and cost, but can be held accountable for the proper coordination of the project. So here, the functional manager can be held accountable, held responsible for doing all such things. Then when we go to the matrix organization, what is matrix organization? Can anyone tell me? What is matrix organization? What is matrix organization? Today at the end of the class, I'll show you how your attendance will be recorded.
Rows and column arrangement.
Yeah?
Rows and columns arrangement.
Yeah, here functional manager as well as the project manager are equally responsible for carrying out or for completion of the project. So that is the matrix, combination of functional as well as a project manager. So here in this matrix organization, this is an important organization as an exam point of view also. Decides what is to be done. So here the functional, whatever the functional manager was doing it, so that power, that authority is given now to the project manager in the matrix organization. Decides on what is to be done, when it is to be done, and at what cost for the entire project, can direct for adherence to the same. So here power is given, equal power. Decides on how it is to be done. So both are equally responsible in case of matrix organization. Same power is given for these two. But what is the main disadvantage when we were discussing this? Since there are two leaders, there is a conflict between these two leaders to take the decisions. So that was the main disadvantage of this matrix organization. Who is accountable? Can be held accountable for time, project manager, because here the scheduling and all power is given to him. Can be held accountable for time, cost of the overall project, but cannot be held accountable for technical performance. For a technical performance, you are calling them the contractors. Only for all other things, he is held accountable. Can be held accountable for technical performance in the functional area. Technical part is given to the functional manager here in case of a matrix organization. Why? Because these functional managers have been picked up from the existing departments, from the departments which are placed in a vertical line. So they will be in touch with their own departments. They know better than the project manager. For that, functional manager is made accountable for technical things in the project. So this is about the matrix organization. So the next one is task force organization. When the scale of the project increases, the same project work we have divided into 3 sections: engineering section, cash sections, and all we have done. So here, what is the authority given in a task force? Decides what is to be done, the same, when it is to be done, how it is to be done, then what cost for the entire project, directs the entire projects in all the aspects of the project, does not recruit. He is responsible for all the things. Functional manager provides the staff. Functional manager will be assisting the project manager now. He provides the staff for the task force from his department and guidelines as to how the functions are to be performed in the task force organization. Can be directed adherence to the guidelines. Only for a guidelines he is given the power, because he is sending from his own department to the project team. case of a task force. What accountability they have got? Project manager in a task force can be held accountable for time, cost, technical performance of the project in all the three things. Earlier, in case of a matrix, technical was given to the functional. So the technical is also added to the task force organization. He is more focused on to all these three factors. He is accountable for this also, for technical factors also. Whereas the functional manager is accountable for, can be held accountable for adequacy of staff, both qualitatively as well as quantitatively, for effective functioning of the task force organization or effective functioning of the task force project. Cannot be held accountable for any performance parameters of the project. He is not accountable for scheduling, he is not accountable for cost and budgeting, and even though he is not accountable for technical field also in the project also. The functional manager is that responsibility, accountability is not given to him in case of a task force. All the three main factors, time means the scheduling of the project, cost means cost, budget of the project, technology, technical performance, all the three parameters. When we were defining the project in the beginning, in the very first class, I have given time, cost, and the performance with respect to technical. So these are the three major main constraints within which the project manager has to work effectively to get the success of that project. Okay. So what is accountability? Can be held accountable for adequacy of staffing. So you will be providing all. So are you able to follow what I am explaining? How the authority and what accountability is given in different organizations. What we have studied, around 6 organizations, different organizations we have studied for the project management. Are you able to follow? Are you able to understand? Okay. Here the photo is not clear. Just I'll read out. The last organization what we have studied is totally projectized organization for joint sectors. When project scale is too big, when you have a projects of an international, in that case we are going for totally projectized organization. Decides everything for the project, whole and sole power is given to the project manager, including the corporate administration. The administration work also he is doing it. We have discussed in detail when we are doing this one. Authority matches with the chief executive of the company. So in place of a chief executive of the company itself, the project manager has been placed. He is responsible for the administrative work of the project as well as the execution of the project also. Whereas functional manager is not involved in any decision making of the project. Functional manager is totally detached. He don't have any power. No authority is given in case of totally projectized organization. The whole power is there in a project manager hand itself. What is accountability? Accountability of this project manager is accountable for all the performance parameters of the project, for all the administrative as well as the project organization or execution of the project also. Whereas functional manager is not at all held accountable for the things related to the project. So this is what is the role of a project manager, what amount of authority is given in different organization structures, and how he is accountable, where he is accountable, for what he is accountable. So that is what you should be able to differentiate from one organization to the other organization. That is what we have studied today. Is it clear? More than one line of reporting managers. Alur, I have not understood. You can unmute and ask the question.
No, you had asked what is matrix organization. I had replied for that.
Okay. So now I have minimized my screen. So now I am able to read your chats. Okay. Is it clear now? All the different organization charts for the project management. You need to highlight this authority as well as the accountability in all the different sections, in all the different structures of the organization. So the next I will not take up now. So that is contracting. When we have gone in detail about the different organizations, as I was keep on mentioning, around 85% of the work of a project is given for the contractors. 70 to 80% of the work is given as a contractors. So in that case, it is equally important to study what is contracting, how you are finalizing the contractors, what is tendering, how you are selecting the contractors, what are the 3 different R's of the project management that we are going to study in the next part of the 3rd unit. So this I will take up once you complete your the internals. Tomorrow just I will go through the slides of the 1st unit as well as the 2nd unit half, so that you can whatever we have done it. So when you are reading it, it becomes very easy for you to go through all the theoretical part. Anything, any other questions related to your internals?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how is the question paper pattern going to be? Like it's going to be 7
Questions?
8 questions?
Yeah, no sub questions. Directly I am giving the 7 questions.
Okay.
Directly I am giving the 7 questions. Out of 7 questions, you need to answer 5 questions. Each question carries 5 marks.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
the questions will be little lengthy. You need to summarize and compress and write as a compact covering all the points. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. If it is a project life cycle phases, the 5 different life cycle phases along with a sketch of the work done and the phases and explanation regarding each phase in short, covering the main points. That much is more than enough for 5 marks. Okay. If it is a characteristics of a project, around 12 characteristics of a project are there, you need to mention all the 12 characteristics and explain only in one line what exactly is that. Okay. If it is a categories of a project, you need to write that flow diagram, project, how it has been classified, and give one example and explain in few lines. Such, if it is a feasibility of a technical study, that is a product pattern, process pattern, material, that you need to explain. And you should summarize that with the main points. Okay. Is it clear? Tomorrow I'll take up. We'll discuss the points, how you need to write.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not mentioning the points, then you will be losing the marks. That should not happen. The points need to be there, but it has to be explained in short. Okay. How the questions will be asked, just you can go through the question papers of a previous year, so that you will come to know what kind of a questions will be there. Yes? Okay. Shall we conclude today's class? Tomorrow I am not doing the next portion. Try to attend all. If you are attending, it helps to write your internals. Try to attend the tomorrow's class so that I can do the revision of whatever I have covered so far. 1.5 units. Okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.